Hello everyone, it's GigaBeef here, and today we're taking a look at the one-day crash in Tarkov's dollar and how dollar pricing actually affects the in-game economy in the first place. Yesterday, which for reference was the 28th of November 2022, BSG dropped a patch primarily around networking regions, but at the same time something strange happens to the value of the dollar-ruble exchange rate, moving on Peacekeeper from around 110 to 66. Put simply, this meant that previously you could buy a dollar from Peacekeeper for 110 rubles, so $1,000 would cost you 110k, but after the change you could buy them for only 66 rubles each, costing 66k for $1,000 instead. The part that most players noticed first though was that any items priced in dollars, i.e. everything that Peacekeeper sells, had jumped in price and were nearly double what they were before, but on the other hand bitcoins had crashed from around 90k to 63k. Naturally, this got people worried that BSG were changing the economy to make things more expensive when not in rubles, or gearing up for some kind of end-of-wipe economy event, but as of today, the change seems to have been reverted, so it was most likely an accident that came along with the server update or a bug of some kind. Either way, why you see these moves in prices is not always well understood by the player base, and the fundamental reason is that nearly everything in Tarkov is based off a ruble price in the background, even those on Peacekeeper that are seemingly dollar-based. Let's take for example two items on Peacekeeper between the 2 days and compare what happened. The AK-73 round drum is usually $458, which is at an exchange rate of 110, which translates to 50,380 rubles. But with the dollar at 66, this now costs $763 on Peacekeeper, which translates to, yep you guessed it, 50,358 rubles. There's a little bit of rounding error here and we only have whole numbers in the exchange rate, but these two prices are practically the same in ruble terms. The ramification of this is that when the dollar becomes less valuable in Tarkov, the USD prices increase to compensate, so in ruble terms nothing has changed. Put another way, although the dollar prices are higher on the traders, you can buy dollars cheaper in the first place, so between the two it evens out. This is kind of weird, as you would expect Western guns from Peacekeeper to be priced in dollars first and foremost. What is happening to the dollar-ruble exchange rate shouldn't really be affecting the dollar price of an MDR, for example. If these items were priced in dollars in the back end, a weaker dollar should allow you to buy the same items for less rubles once you've done the conversion. So for most players, this doesn't make any difference at all. In our existing Tarkov world, the only people that the exchange rate actually affects is those who are holding dollars already. When the rate crashed from 110 to 66, players who had been storing up large quantities of dollar cash effectively lost out for that moment, because the USD prices shot up but their holdings of currency did not. The opposite effect would happen the other way round as well. So that is all well and good, but what about Bitcoin? Why did we see this depreciate dramatically to 66k while the dollar rate was placed so low for a short time? Bitcoin is one of the only items in Tarkov that is actually priced in dollars to begin with due to its special mechanism of pricing from the real-life cryptocurrency. Broadly speaking, this takes its dollar value in real life, divided by 5 because each Bitcoin in Tarkov only represents 0.2 of a coin, then it's converted to rubles with the in-game exchange rate. This should translate to around 363k, but the price ratio was adjusted back when Bitcoin was on its epic heater and resulted in coins selling to therapists for over 800k at one stage, which effectively turned the economy into creative mode for anyone with a Bitcoin farm. The pricing ratio to IRL Bitcoin was placed to something like 4 times lower to stop this, leaving the price at around 92k. However, when the dollar change came through, the unique pricing mechanism of Bitcoin meant that its value translated into far less rubles than before, causing its price to crash while all other dollar-based items soared instead. These days, I'm not 100% certain what the pricing ratio actually is, and it doesn't seem totally linear based on the 2 data points that we have over the 2 days, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. So as usual, a big shout out to all my patrons, hit all the buttons if you enjoyed the video, and as always, have fun in your raids.